Actually, you know what? We're doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're cutting off the countdown nice
Good.
and.
I was gonna say, could they hear us during the content
No,
or
they
no?
couldn't hear us. I don't
It's
think.
cool when they can, but when they can't, it's no good.
So, welcome to the J&J podcast, the J&J show. We are going. This is episode number 18. Episode number 18. We're 18 episodes strong. We look to hopefully in the future be doing these twice a week, but right now we're only doing it once a week. We got a lot of fun stuff to cover tonight, and I got some energy, so this is a good thing. We're going to be talking about RFK Jr. making a TikTok error, which is going to be fun. The conservatives are going crazy over the Taylor Swift Psyop, and then there's some UFC 299 drama that we want to cover as well. So, first off, you're getting your food. Hi. Hello, sir.
Yeah, it's like Joe Rogan's podcast. Instead of drinking, we're having. Hopefully, there's no nut allergy in here.
Yeah. Speaking of drinking, your boy is 31 days sober. Now, I don't need to be sober. It's not like I have a problem, but every single year I try to strive to do a dry January, sober January, and full 30 days, 31 days, and lost 7 pounds just because I was eating right and cut out alcohol. So if you guys are looking to lose 5 to 10 pounds, cut out some alcohol and track your macros. That'll help. At least it'll help me. But I plan on having some celebratory drinks maybe this weekend and not gain all of it back. All right. What story do you want to go into first?
Because RFK makes the TikTok error. That one I didn't even know about it, dude.
Okay, so let's so listen. This is a family show. This is a family show. It is, and I'm sure that you know what we share, we're not going to get banned for. I'm not saying that we would get banned for it, but
Why it's that bad?
well, it's not bad. It's just listen, it's rappers. They tend to have a I don't know. They tend to have a taste for some type of things, and apparently RFK Jr. has gotten in tune with what the rappers like. And I'll share my screen and we'll dive right into this. So I first saw this on Tim Pool's Twitter feed, X feed. So I'm going to share this and go to the beginning. And now I think I'm going to maximize the screen for this.
Wait, this is Tim Pool, or is this who is this?
This is not Tim Pool. This is not Tim Pool. This is
RFK
on TikTok. But Tim Pool shared this video, which I think Clown World, the X account, shared, and everybody's been sharing it. But this is where I found it. So right here.
He's another Joe Biden.
Well, listen. All right, so click on it. Wow. So
is he single? Is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. single?
No, he is married. So if you will notice if you'll notice the timestamp, the day stamp is September 16th, 2022. So obviously, how do you react to this when you see that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is commenting on, somebody with their butt cheeks hanging out, and wow, with 2 hearts emoji faces, right? Like, how do you come back from that? Now, there's a couple different ways to approach this. Before we go see what his response is, how would you approach this? Let's say this wasn't Jeff. Let's say this wasn't you, right? This wasn't you who did this.
Okay. Sorry, I have business. We just did a webinar. People are like trying to buy. So.
Got it. Understood. Well, listen, if you need me to turn you off,
they can wait. They'll be fine. Everybody gets in line for Jeff J. Cunningham.
And don't worry, this one's not going to be that long. But so let's say you are running for president. Put you in this situation. You're running for president. You have no idea how that came up on there. And now this is showed up. Jeff J. Cunningham. Wow. Right? Josh Lewis. Wow.
I mean, and all I probably made comments like that on people that said wow. So that's the only thing that made me think if I ran for president, that people would bring up all those,
Well,
I just put the monkey face like this.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a little bit different because you're single right now and this guy is married. And
Plus, he's way older.
Correct. Yes.
It just looks wrong.
Yeah, so I would agree. It doesn't look right. So how would you handle it? I'm just curious. How would you handle it?
If I was president?
Or if you were in his situation, how would you handle this?
I mean, I think like Trump, right? You come out there and own it, That's the best way to do it. Yeah, I said, wow. I mean, that's that.
I walked in. I said, "Wow, those are some cheeks."
Yeah. I mean, Trump's probably the only one who can pull it off. I don't know. Robert F. Kennedy. You gotta own. Dude, we were just talking about this the other day. Whether you do something right or wrong, whether you're a lie, everybody's lied. You have to own the lie. I lied. This is it. Yep. I said, wow. Probably it's just bad, man. I mean, I'm glad I'm not him.
So, right. So how do you, but I would think you would have to own it in some way, right? Now, what if you're innocent of it? What if you didn't do it?
I mean,
but it was somebody on your team who did it.
Yeah, then you say that, right?
Yeah, I think you say it, but I think you say, hey, listen, here's the context of how this happened. Having said that, that's my name that's listed upon that. That's not something I condone, but I get it. That's my name. We removed it. It's not something we're looking into the matter. The person who did it is no longer with us or whatever.
Did they remove it?
So I don't know because I didn't look up the exact video.
Did the girl's TikTok go up like crazy?
Well, I mean, already that thing had 500,000 hearts on it. So, and a couple of those were from RFK Jr. But this is what RFK Jr.'s official statement was. So, I mean, he went an interesting way with this. He said, "Do people really think I was TikToking in 2022? The TikTok comment in question was made in 2022, long before I ever had a TikTok account." Maybe I should say it how he would say it. This comment now appears on my account because the account was previously owned by one of the campaign's young social media managers. When I announced my run for presidency in April of 2023, the team wanted it broadcasted on every social media platform, including TikTok. However, TikTok does not allow live streaming for accounts that have less than 1,000 followers. Social media manager decided to transfer his account, which had around 1,500 followers, to me in order to stream my announcement on TikTok.
Which is true, but that's all right.
So people are ready. This is a win. Kennedy for president. You still need an answer, though. Do you like them thick? My vote depends on this answer. 725 likes. It was cooler when you were a buff dude who liked booty. JFK would have didn't expect no less from RFK. 1,000 likes. RFK Jr., I support nice spots. Honestly, with the other two guys running, that's probably a winning platform. LOL, can't believe you have to address this. So, listen, I mean, not the end of the world. Honestly, I think it's a little bit refreshing that we have a presidential candidate that is attracted to women that are of age, as opposed to President
Is she of age? She was of age?
That's actually a good question. I mean, I'm not entirely certain. I hope for JFK's, and I hope for our sake too as well. I don't want to be sharing anything that's not of age.
We said, and I believe this, with a lot of older people, right? I work with older people who have no clue about social media. That's what I do with marketing and branding. What the social media, I think his story's true. He doesn't strike me as the type of guy to lie.
I agree.
Even when he got tripped up about the trans deal of people who cut off their stuff with PBD when I was at the town hall, he was truthfully like didn't know, and he was like apologetic about it, you know.
Yeah, I think really the
I believe his answer. I believe it was a young kid on his account was transferred and said, "Wow," and I think it's good. Actually, for marketing, I think it put him in the news. I think it's good, you know.
Yeah. We
haven't talked about him lately. I haven't looked him up ever since Vivek dropped out. I haven't watched anything really.
Yeah,
I really like Vivek.
I don't think he's getting as much traction as far as a marketing point of view. I think this would give him some better traction right now and being able to get him back into the news. So honestly, I think he handled it well. I can't believe he has to address it, but it seems like his followers and really didn't care. Like they're not coming out and attacking him. And oh my God, I think it's an honest mistake that had to be addressed. But it is kind of unfortunate for somebody. I wonder who the first person who looked it up was like, yo, no way, Team Kennedy, what? Like when I first saw it, I was like, yo, this is nuts. This is insane.
When you said TikTok, I thought it was more like he posted a TikTok and he said something, and I didn't think it was that. Like that's way out there.
I know, that's pretty crazy. I mean, it's a slow news week when you're.
Yeah, I guess so. But also, like, where's the pictures of Joe Biden like sniffing every young kid? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Do you want to talk about the Chiefs won and the Super Bowl prediction that it's all fixed is not true?
Oh, yeah. So let's get into our next story because I want to talk a little bit about that. Because the next story has to do with conservatives going crazy over Taylor Swift and saying that it's a psyop. Have you heard anything about this?
I've seen it, not heard about it. I've seen people going crazy. I like Taylor Swift. I know Taylor Swift might have sold her soul, but I still like her music. I like I'm a Swiftie.
So I wouldn't go as far as say that I am a Swiftie. However, I will say I respect her. Her music's good. She's consistently putting out good music. She's great at marketing. She does she does the right balance of being inaccessible so that when she does an Eras tour, it makes billions of dollars. So I think she's doing everything the right way. How she transitioned from country to pop, and now she's like in the whole pop scene. She's probably arguably one of the biggest musical artists on the planet at the moment.
Yeah, bigger than Michael Jackson, and unlike Michael Jackson, who was really big and known, or Elvis Presley before Michael Jackson, right? We have Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson. They've all been troubled. At least Michael Jackson was a pedophile,
Yeah.
I mean, Taylor Swift might be a Satanist, I guess, is the biggest thing, but.
Well, I mean, listen, I think let's dive into it. So first, I want to dive into this. So Benny Johnson is a conservative. He posted this tweet, this X, whatever you want to call, and I want to share it because I thought it was important for people to see. This is like what conservatives, and I consider myself as somebody who leans more to the right than to the left. However, with this is a good reason why I want to bring something up. And listen, I could be completely wrong about this, but this is something that I think that bringing up for awareness and saying, conservatives, you got to get your shit together because you look crazy by saying stuff like this. And I haven't seen too much of Benny Johnson's content, but from what I've seen, he seems like a fairly likable guy. I don't know him at all, but I haven't seen too much of his content. But like I mentioned, he seems like a fairly likable guy. I don't think he's crazy, but I think once we go into this type of talk, we tend to get into a little bit of Looney Tunes world. And again, I could be wrong. So by now, everyone knows Taylor Swift is a government psyop, and this is exactly why corporate media is having a meltdown about it. I don't know how we know that, but this is what he states. 4 years ago, the Pentagon Psychological Operations Unit pitched NATO about turning Taylor Swift into a social influence asset. In 2019, George Soros bought her entire music catalog. In 2020, she came out as a raging liberal Joe Biden supporter after previously being politically neutral. In 2023, her Eras tour ranked higher revenue than the GDP of 50 countries. Good for her. I don't know why he's saying that's a negative. In 2023, she helped register over 35,000 new voters with a single Instagram post. And now she's dating a Pfizer and Bud Light agent in the NFL, the most watched live sport in America. Even the New York Times wrote a story on how Biden is courting her for an endorsement and how he wants to appear on stage with her. You don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to put it all together. You just have to be paying attention. So he got community noted here, and it said the Pentagon Psychological Operations Unit was actually Alicia Marie Barger, a research engineer at Johns Hopkins University with no known contracts relationship with the U.S. military. She gave a presentation to NATO officials about information spreads online. So he posts that. Then Politico posts this article, which I want to go over very, very briefly, and then I want to discuss and debrief this, because this is right now is what conservatives are going crazy on over. Why Taylor Swift is making conservatives crazy. It's all about the GOP's embrace of paranoid populism. We have met the enemy, and it is Taylor Swift. As you might have heard, an element of the online right has decided that the pop star's famous romance with Kansas City Chiefs player Travis Kelce is a plot to get President Joe Biden reelected. If the two do not seem naturally connected, well, then you're probably just being taken in by this psyop. In response to an X post from the influencer Jack Psyop referring to a conspiracy theory involving George Soros manipulating Swift into becoming an activist Democrat, one-time presidential candidate, and full-time panderer Vivek Ramaswamy dropped dark hints of what's to come. I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month, he posted. And I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially culturally pop couple this fall. Just some wild speculation over here. Let's see how it ages over the next 8 months. Honestly, I think that's a good take from Vivek. Wild speculation, right? He's just like saying things and he's just putting, hey, this is wild speculation. But he calls exactly what it is. After a spate of media reports on the Swift theory, another influencer on X, Benny Johnson, which we just wrote, we read. By now, he wrote, everyone knows Taylor Swift is a government psyop, and this is exactly why corporate media is having a meltdown about it. Case closed. And then it goes into opinion about why this is going on. But I want to share our opinion. I think you and I are going to have some takeaways from this. Before I start, do you want to take the lead on this?
No, it's crazy, man. I like Taylor Swift and everything, but I can see it. I felt like she was always neutral to everything. Like they wanted her off Spotify when the Joe Rogan thing is, and she refused to go off Spotify, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. So there's some things like, and maybe I'm looking for more reasons to win. Listen, Travis Kelce kind of has an ego. It makes sense that they're both dating. I mean, everybody's got an ego, but he's fell on that point. She's dated a lot of celebrity, people in the limelight before. I don't think this is any way. I didn't know about George Soros buying her media catalog. Is that true?
So it is, and I want to share what Taylor Swift says, and I want to see if perfect. So that is true. It is true, but this is why I think conservatives need to check themselves, because what she actually did was a big middle finger to George Soros. A huge middle finger to George Soros. I'm going to play the video and let her explain in her own words.
After I was denied the chance to purchase my music outright, my entire catalog was sold to Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings in a deal that I'm told was funded by the Soros family, 23 Capital, and the Carlyle Group. Yet, to this day, none of these investors have ever bothered to contact me or my team directly to perform their due diligence on their investment in me, to ask how I might feel about the new owner of my art, the music I wrote, the videos I created, photos of me, my hand.
So,
why does it say the devil owns her soul?
Because these people are going crazy.
Did she do? I see a video. I don't know, because last show we talked about AI generated.
So Yeah, it's you can't even search like Taylor Swift's name on X, or you couldn't for like 2 days because they just pulled it down. So remember, she released these albums that said Taylor's version. The reason why she did that is she re-recorded all her music, so it put George Soros's catalog that he owns with all the investments and everything, along with Scooter Braun and everybody else. Their investments went down to zero because she just re-recorded her music called Taylor's version, meaning it's not George Soros or Scooter Braun or Ithaca Company's version. It's Taylor's version, meaning I own this. I make the money from this. That's why she's releasing all these Taylor version albums, because she's devaluing their investment right now by releasing Taylor's version. That's the reason why she did all this. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm just going to re-release it. She's doing that to drop their investment value so she gets all the money. It's a genius business move. I'm just going to re-release my music, and I'm going to re-release it, and I'm going to call it
Taylor's version. I know. It was awesome. I listened to some of the songs. She has new songs on here, and one of them was one, Is It Over Now? And it was the same song about the girl I liked, and I put it on one of my titles. Very good song.
So regardless, that alone just debunks half of what conservatives are saying with George Soros owning her. Yeah, he did. They bought out some of her catalog, but she said fuck you to them, and excuse my French, but then was like, no, I'm going to release my own version of this, which is, for me, I think is a great business move. Now she devalued what they own, and now everybody, all her Swifties who are in borderline with her, in full agreement with her, are gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna support you 110%. Having said all that, does she have an influence? Absolutely, she does have an influence. I think not only the influence that she has,
sponsored by Pfizer,
not the influence that she has is just not. It is. I think it's probably way more than most people would think it would be. But having said that, I believe that her influence is going to be towards younger girls, and she's going to be impressionable on them and say, hey, listen, we don't like the big orange man, right? We should vote for Joe Biden because he fights for women's rights. Now, Tom from PBD's podcast had a great breakdown of this, saying that historically, presidents and presidential campaigns do not like to go after celebrities for celebrity endorsements, because celebrity endorsements usually bring in very minimal results, because celebrities tend to fuck up. They have a history of fucking up. And when they do, then it makes the president look bad. So presidents go, we're going to stay away. Now, having said that, The Rock came out last year and was like, yeah, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Yeah.
Not last year, in 2020.
Right. Thank you.
Joe Rogan called him on it just last year, and he
right, 100%. So it's not, and what's her name? Cardi B? I think it was Cardi B came out and said, yo, Joe Biden, that. And now she's turned her back on him, by the way. And been like, yo, what were we thinking electing this guy? It's crazy. So that's one of the reasons why politicians don't like to do celebrity endorsements. So for me, I think it's extremely far-fetched to say that this is a whole psyop and that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are dating so they can get Pfizer in bed. And this is what I think. I think circumstances happen, and I think the far left is smart when they say, wait a minute, this lines up with our narrative. Let's push this and promote this because we could probably get a few people. Do this. This hasn't been planned out. This hasn't been planned out from the beginning. From when Taylor Swift was born, they said, oh my God, in 33 years, in 34 years, you're going to be dating this guy in the Kansas City Chiefs who's going to go to the Super Bowl. And then after that, you're going to tell all your people who follow you to go vote for stumbling, sleepy Joe Biden. I just don't see it happening personally.
What if Michelle runs? Like, Joe Biden's still not running. Like, we're talking.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you brought that up. I totally forgot about this. James O'Keefe talked about something and he released a video. Did you see the video?
Of Michelle Obama?
Not of Michelle Obama. So I don't know how James O'Keefe keeps on doing this. And where's my glasses? He puts on a pair of glasses, and people don't. He's got the Clark Kent thing going on. People don't think it's James O'Keefe. I had glasses here somewhere.
I look really good in this lighting right now. I don't look bad. Especially after being so thick.
Where's my book? Ego is the Enemy is not there because I'm reading it right now.
Edging down out ego. I'm just saying. I just don't think I look that bad.
So let's get into that because that's another good story, and then we can wrap up with.
Speaking of which, I want to the Girls Gone Bible, Angela, in the comments. I wanted to share the comments. We gotta have them. They were on George Janko's podcast, but one guy posted because the girls, they're models. And the guy posted, "Isn't vanity a sin?" And I hate it when people are Christians. And our girl, remember Vanessa Noble?
Yes.
She has the girl's back in the comments, and she's so fiery. I almost want to show the comments. Maybe we'll show that next episode.
Okay. So let's watch this video a little bit. So apparently James O'Keefe. So have you heard of the where did he used to work for? I forget. James O'Keefe used to work for that company that has now been dissolved since he left. Shows leadership. What was it called? He was breaking all the news. I forget. I can't even remember what it's called. I had to ask it to Amy. Google. I could probably ask Google. Project Veritas. Remember Project Veritas? No. All right.
I do remember it. I'm trying to listen more. I'm biting my tongue more.
Okay. So
literally, I bite my tongue like this.
That's great. I'm happy for you. Breaking video from James O'Keefe. Top White House cyber official tells O'Keefe in disguise. They can't say it publicly. The White House wants to replace Kamala Harris and confirms President Joe Biden mental decline. Biden is definitely slowing down. This is 13 minutes. We're going to watch the first minute and a half. I haven't watched the whole 13 minutes of it just because I've been so busy these past few weeks. But the first minute and a half is pretty entertaining.
I work at the White House.
So you're pretty high up in the government.
Yeah, I'm fairly high up. I'm good at keeping secrets, and so I manage 2 federal agencies, the State Department and USAID.
So when you say it's like security, like you're protecting
the networks of the federal agencies
that
you give all your information to.
The mission is to protect information.
And we are like the president's voice when we go into meetings in terms of discussing and promoting the president's priorities.
Is he going to be the nominee?
Yes. And she will be the vice president nominee.
Yeah, I don't.
There was a debate about removing her from the ticket, but sadly they didn't. She can't keep black staff. They quit on her in mass.
But with him, I
know.
He's got dementia.
He's definitely slowing down.
Well, they know that he has those issues.
I think so.
But they're not willing to say it.
Shows it.
They're not willing to say it publicly.
And same thing
but
with
why
Kamala
not?
Harris. She's not popular, but you can't remove the first black lady to be vice president from the goddamn presidential ticket. Like, what kind of message are you going to send to, like, the African American voter? How would you spin that? People would be like, what the fuck? Like she's a woman and she's multiracial. I think that they're really concerned about it.
But they won't say it. Well, I guess if they say it publicly,
correct.
That Biden is
no.
They can't say it publicly.
No, they got to toe the line.
Do they say it privately? But they won't say it publicly.
Correct.
That Biden
they
they can't say it publicly.
No, they got to toe the line.
Do they say it privately? I mean,
I'm just telling you what I've heard. Like,
You're just telling me the truth.
Does it make sense? No, but that's what I've heard. I've had a meeting with Michelle Obama at one point when I was an intern, and someone asked her, "Will you ever run for office?" And she said no, emphatically.
Really?
I've seen all the shit my husband has had to go through, and that does not interest me. People would be like, "Well, I don't think we should have to get the vaccine." And I'm like, it's like, you're not going to get the vaccine, and then you're going to go expose my family in the hospital to your vaccinated COVID. Like, you.
So you work in cybersecurity for the White House, and my question is, what are you doing on a meeting? with James O'Keefe. What type of cybersecurity operation are you guys running over there?
We're running a good cyber.
So it goes into him like now.
Well, he
present-
didn't say that Biden was going to. He didn't say Kamala Harris is running there. He said,
No, he said what I think is where the Democrats are in right now, which is that they are in such a stressful position because they have to run Biden. They say that Biden's going to be the nominee, and they can't remove Kamala Harris because of what he just said. How do you do
I hope they run Biden. Trump beats Biden 100%.
if everything's in fair play? I agree.
Trump's even not the best, like the most popular person. He's very polarizing in his own way. Okay, but he did get whatever. Let's say half the votes. He got half the votes. Biden's done really bad. Trump was really good when he was here. Any common sense person looking at it remembers, how America was with Biden and Trump. We all feel it in our pocketbooks. Trump wins. But if you put just someone new with a new hope that's not Biden, like Michelle Obama, I don't know about Kamala Harris. I think Kamala Harris is the same. I don't think she beats Trump either. I really don't.
Well,
so that seemed like nobody. It seemed like people just talking about like me and you were talking at a bar.
Right. So the only difference between that is that's a White House intern and one of the heads of the White House cybersecurity. So he's saying that everybody in the presidential camp is saying, shit, we got to run Biden. We know he's slowing down, and we know all the polls say he's slowing down, but like they don't know what to do. So it seems like from him, according to him, and this is a guy who's been in the presidential camp or been next to it with the cybersecurity, that they are going they're not going to be running anybody else. That they're going to be running Biden and they're going to be running Kamala Harris. So all these maybe conspiracy theories of them pulling out Biden and at the last second putting in Newsom or putting in Michelle Obama.
I don't know if those are conspiracy theories. They just seem like very. Listen, I hope we're on here. I hope we get. Dude, I can't wait to do this show in November. We should do like a live election if we get there. First, there's no cyber attack. If Biden's running, if Trump's running, dude, Trump's winning. Like, imagine how happy that'd be. Talking about what's his name? Andrew Tate said it. Trump's in the White House. PBD's the thing. I don't know if we have that clip, but he's like, we need a rap. He's like,
right. So listen, I would be. You know my thoughts on Trump. I do not like Trump as a leader. I think he's more polarizing than he is unifying. However, I do not think he is as demonizing as other people make him out to be. I think mostly it's just a reflection on the people's egos, seeing against their ego, right? But listen, I would 100% rather have 110% rather have Trump in office. At least we respect it as a nation.
Right. I believe Trump is the guilty pleasure of everybody. Like, man, he'll just say how it is. Vivek, the reason why I like Vivek, and maybe it would be better this time around, Trump has better people in his ears, right? He's not going to have all the people backstabbing him. And listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump gets in, everything goes good, and half the people like him and Vivek don't get along like 4 years down the road. The way Trump is, right? It doesn't like the
arrogance. He has the ability to get results, but leaving a whirlwind of disaster. And
like Steve Bannon, Mike Pence, dude, everybody who was with all turned on him, you know?
Well, the problem with Trump is he's easily manipulated, which he's not an idiot. He's not a dumb guy, but his ego, if you pump up his ego, I'm like, I like the guy. Which it's like, it's pretty crazy when you see somebody pumping up your ego, you got to be like, whoa, what does this person want from me? But for Trump, it seems like if anybody pumps up his ego, then he's like, you're good. I don't want to clone myself. Not right now.
You think Biden's a clone? Did you see any of those videos?
I don't think
Biden. That's what made me bring it up.
I think if they made a clone of Biden, they would tweak it to be a little bit better, right? Like he wouldn't be going through these speeches.
Maybe that's why. Maybe it's not to mention. Maybe it's a malfunction on the robot. Like
maybe it's the first generation clone, and they're like trying to like put it in the background.
No, other way on stage. You missed the handshake.
Keyboard.
insane. It's insane that that's our president and we're talking about this. Like, here's the thing. Trump is his age or they're old, and Trump has no signs of showing down. Looks totally cognitive health.
I will say this. It's hard for me to watch Biden videos with me. Like, it's hard for me to watch because
it's crazy that Biden and Trump ran and Chiefs and 49ers from the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, where it's like we're in a glitch in the Matrix, or like it's a redo. Maybe it's a redo.
So that means San Fran wins and Trump wins. I guess maybe that'll tell. There's a lot right on the San Fran thing. If Kansas City wins, Biden wins. If San Fran wins.
And by the way, it used to make the beer brewed here. It is used to make the brew beer in this refinery. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes. I wonder what it's doing. Teach Donald Trump a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the women in America unless you want to get the benefit. And by the way,
I don't know. I don't know what he's saying. Like,
well, at least he's got people cheering for him. Dude,
I think it's like the late night shows. The applause sign comes on and the laughter sign comes on.
Yeah, I agree, dude. Did you see that video? Oh, I think Joe Rogan shared it. You shared it with me and Joe Rogan about the press, the people at Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan posted it. It was about the protesters.
Oh, yeah.
I was shocked. You want me to pull it up?
Yeah, if you got it right away. Otherwise, I'll search for it and I'll find it. But
I have my Instagram up. I was shocked that Joe Rogan did it, you know?
Well, not so much anymore. Joe Rogan likes to find the truth, you know? And I really, really give him a lot of credit for doing that. Just because, like, it makes me respect him, and I know he believes what he believes.
All right, sorry, I just ran a webinar. This is the first webinar I've run in a while, and a lot of
media today. Check out this post and article by The Hill. Notice this picture: protesters outside the New York courtroom with anti-Trump signs. How does this pic make you feel? If you love Trump, this may upset you. The weaponization of the justice system. If you hate Trump, this may vindicate you, knowing there are people out there that understand your cause and protesting on your behalf. Either way, you are manipulated to feel that way by the fake news. Check out this video. This is the actual video of this picture. It's two protesters, most likely paid, and 30 mainstream media cameras there just to record it. Now check this out. Did a quick reverse lookup on this picture. Can you see how many news articles this picture was used all over the world? I mean, I'm still scrolling. The same exact fake pic. Used to manipulate your mind. Every article, post, pic, and video must be viewed with the utmost scrutiny at this point. As this year progresses and we go into the most intense digital war of our lifetime, stay sharp. They will do whatever they can to skew your worldview. Don't get caught up in the narrative. Because at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. Narrative. Let's expose the mainstream media.
Wow.
Yeah, that guy's pretty good too. I've followed some of the stuff for. Is he AI or is he real?
I think he's real.
He looks a little AI, you know, his face.
Really? So you look a little AI, your face.
I do right now. Yeah, you're right. Dude, it's crazy because when your face looks perfect, it's AI.
All right, so I want to end off with a little bit of UFC drama, UFC 299.
Oh, yeah, I know. We're going to be there, 299 Miami. Are you excited?
I am excited. Very excited.
I think I made a sale tonight, too, $1,000.
That's awesome. I love it. Good job. So this is a summary of the last 4 hours. I don't know what this is, but it's a clip from the Sopranos.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Huh?
Got it. So Ariel Helwani posted, I reached out to Dustin Poirier about his tweet that the BSD fight at 299 is off. His response: there was no contractual agreement before the fight was announced, and we couldn't come to terms. Dana White slams scumbag reporters claim that Poirier versus San Dennis was never agreed to for UFC 299. Is official. Where is it? Dustin Poirier, when his manager called to tell him to fight, still on. Poirier's getting paid. Where is? Let's see.
I haven't seen Poirier's. It's Sean O'Malley. Poirier almost to me is the bigger name on that fight.
So he posted. Well, let's see. Can we? Yeah, let's go. Let's see if he took it down. My fight's off, but still working. Right. So I see this photo of him, and I'm like, what? I sent this to you, right? And I was like, and then ESPN sent something, said, per post from the Diamond, Dustin Poirier, his 299 UFC 299 fight is off. And that was 8 hours ago. And then 3 hours ago, so 5 hours later, sorry, folks, I jumped the gun. I couldn't get a hold of my manager for a few days. I just spoke with him and Hunter. Misunderstanding on my part. Fight is on. See you March 9th, Miami. And then he posted a poster of him and St. Dennis, and then a clip from him and not from him, but from Talladega Nights, which there's no context of it. It's about him breaking his arm because he's not going to say some French phrase. I don't get it.
I think there is relevance to that. I think he was basically saying like he was going to bend somebody's arm if he doesn't get paid.
I love crepes. Don't you say it, Ricky. These colors don't rhyme. I'm not going to say it. Good.
Hey, look, Frenchie, I thought about it. So why don't you go ahead and break my arm?
I do not want to break your arm, Monsieur Bobby, but I am a man of my word.
Here's the deal. He's not going to break it, because I'm going to slip out of it right now. Houdini!
Whoa! Keep down, you...
I want you to say, I love.
Yeah, so he wanted him to say, I love crepes. I don't know why he posted that part. It doesn't make sense to me. And he doesn't post the part, which I'm glad he didn't, because I hated that part of the movie, even though it's funny, where he actually does break his arm. He's, he actually did it!
I didn't know that. I don't even remember that movie. I've watched it like once. I don't remember that well.
Yeah, I've watched it a couple of times. Unfortunately, I do remember that part because they do break his arm, and I'm like, that's not funny. That's violent. Even though it is funny, it's more violent.
Yeah, that's dark humor. I'm not a big fan of that.
So anyway, apparently Dustin Poirier is fighting again. He wasn't fighting, but now he is fighting. I want to briefly touch on this because I think it's either something that happened within his camp, or it was a marketing ploy to get him more money. Or it was just a misunderstanding, like what Dustin said. What do you think?
I think it was a misunderstanding. I met Dustin, talked to him at the thing. I remember telling him that he could build an online business online and be a motivational speaker. Before he said, you think so? And I was like, yeah, man, you're really good. You're very motivational. He kind of has this way where he gets very on his high horse to speak, right? But I think, but it was. He reminds me of a little boy. When I said it to him, he was like very like hopeful. It was actually cool. My goal is always to inspire others, always. And then after that, he's like, man, I'll do it. I'll come on your show. Like, wow, I've never had someone believe in me that way. It was really cool, honestly. It was a cool moment with Dustin.
I like Dustin. I like him for all his flaws, and they are many because we all have them. However, I don't think Dustin thinks he has too many flaws. You know what I mean? And I think that makes him more like he's the sorest winner I've ever seen. Whenever he wins, he gets pissed off. But yeah, I'm looking forward to coming down there for UFC 299 and watching all those great fights. What else?
It was like I was telling you yesterday too. If I didn't realize that I didn't listen as much as I didn't and said I know, and I was like, no, I don't do that all the time, it would be unlikely. The fact that I actually do realize that I've been doing that, I was actually realized it today when I was at the AI event and they were talking about AI tools. I realized how many times, because I And I don't study. I browse stuff. Maybe I should start dating a girl and do a hobby, because I just research all the time that I do know, but I know of. I don't truly know, because knowledge is action, right? I've never made a clone, but I know Hey Gen is how they did it. They're selling you $7,000 for all the things on how they build it all out. But I'm like, oh, I know how they do it. Or I can figure it out, right? It's.
I think what you and I have is this perseverance in ourselves and our resilience in ourselves, that we know that if we back it up consistently enough with enough action, we're going to get it towards a result. And that's great. The unfortunate thing is that can come across as a little bit ignorant as well as arrogant, because we know our experience of everything that we've been through and what we've accomplished, and like, we know we'll figure it out. There's a way we can figure it out. The challenge is most people we talk to don't know our lives, don't know what we've been through. We can tell them, but they haven't had the experience. So when we say we know something, or yeah, I can do it, it comes across as like completely ignorant. And it's only because they don't know what our belief system looks like. They don't know what we are capable of. And it's one thing to say, yes, I will do this. I'm going to do this. I know I'm going to do that. Speaking it into existence. And then it's another thing to claim absolute perfection over something by just saying a throwaway statement. There's I watched Tom Segura and explaining Bert Kreischer and Joe Rogan. So Bert Kreischer kind of reminds me a little bit of you on how he is sometimes. Do you know who Bert Kreischer is? He's the machine. Listen, you're way different than him, but this is the reasoning why. So,
guy,
very good looking guy. So Bert Kreischer is he's very. Whenever he has a podcast, he always talks about himself. He's always very self-focused, and it's always like, yeah, I did this and I did that, and what do you think? I think my shoulders look good and everything like that. And it's always about like him, and it's almost endearing. It's not arrogant, but it's almost endearing, but it's almost kind of a little arrogant, because you're like, man, you're talking about yourself the whole entire time, but it is endearing. So what he's a matcher, like how you are. So he starts telling Joe Rogan, he goes, hey, you and I are like exactly alike. And Joe Rogan goes, how so? Right? Joe Rogan's such a great guy. They couldn't be further apart. And Joe Rogan's just like, you know what? Let me see what he thinks, right? And he goes, I just think, you and I like to do things if it's like to go work out, like I love to go work out, and you love to go work out, like when we did that. And he's like saying all these different things that are kind of similar, but they're not really similar. Joe Rogan goes, yeah, I could see that. I just think it's a little different. Like this is during a podcast with Tom Segura, Ari Shaffir, Bert Kreischer, and Joe Rogan. It's the Sober October crew. This one just, and Joe Rogan's like, well, he's trying to be nice, but like thinking about it, like, could I really be like that? And then he's just like, as Bert Kreischer's saying, we definitely are. He's like, yeah, no, I don't really see the similarities. And Tom Segura goes, this is the biggest difference that I see. And it reminded, the way Tom Segura described this, it reminded of you and me. Like me being like Joe Rogan, you being like Bert Kreischer, just by actions. We're not similar to the people at all. Joe Rogan is way different than me, and Bert Kreischer is way different than you. We're not similar, but this, how he describes it, he goes, Joe, he's like, you tend to be somebody who, when you find out something new, you want to learn all about it. And you're like, wow, I'm really going to invest all my time into it. And I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to read all about it and soak all this in so I can know it. And it becomes your life and becomes you until you figure out the best way to do it so you can duplicate it and then do it every single day. He goes, Bert, I feel like whenever you see something, it's a task that you want to complete, you'll look at it and go, you know what? I think I'm going to wing it. And I was like, dude, that's like how Jeff and I are, right? Because like I'll look at something and be like, oh my, almost to a fault, like to the point where like I won't take enough action, and you'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna wing it and I'll figure it out. And both are not wrong. I just think it's like I need a little bit more of you, and then you could use a little bit more of me. And I think honestly, it's a balance that we're probably going to struggle with for the rest of our lives. But as long as we're self-aware to it, then we'll go, okay, we can actually get.
Yeah, I gotta not leap without looking, as all these big heroes do in all the movies that I watch, whether it's Tramp or Star Trek or whatever. Because it doesn't serve me. I ran a webinar today. It wasn't totally finished. We kind of winged it, right? There were slides that weren't finished, and I had to be like, well, that's not here, So, yeah, 100%. Do I feel not right as the company? No. I mean, we had 12 people on it. They all want to book a call tomorrow. It's going to be fine. And it still was better by me not running a webinar, right? I could have ran one of my older webinars.
100%. 100%.
Out there, but you're right. I definitely need a little bit more of that.
So, for instance, I'm taking Mo's course right now, right? Yeah. And I literally wrote down everything that he said.
The thesis?
Yeah, the thesis, the props, the pain point.
I wrote down the thesis and props, and I went and shot the ad.
See, that's what I'm saying. I read the whole thing, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to wing it.
Did I have it in my hair? But the ad did well. I got to actually write it all down. I got to do the course again. That's proven.
I think this is a good place.
Where's your ad? Did you record your ad?
No, I haven't
yet. At least I got my ad out.
I'm still watching. I'm still finishing watching the rest of the course.
I'll send you my ad. Do you want to see my ad?
Absolutely, I do.
You don't have to, but I don't even know if we followed it right because I got to do it that way. By the way, Mo is very detailed, like you.
That's good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's why he reminds him, he's doing it like how Josh would do it. Like he makes sure everything's perfect before he goes, but he's done it. And dude, he
knows what works, So
yep. No, dude, he's one of the best marketers I know. And I know quite a few. This was it. See, they did the ad.
Do you want to build a brand that is as respected as a Ferrari? Well, I do.
You see this?
When you sent it to me, yeah, I love it.
It
looks
really was good, right? They edited it good. Well, anyway, that one was the one. I got 3,000 views. Got the most out of anyone except for the Jesus one, the Lord. So, saying I'm gonna always do it for the Lord. I don't even know what I'm doing with content. I got to figure it out. We'll get a team on there. So it's just I'm posting,
Yeah, no, you're doing way better than I am.
Posted a good testimony video today of somebody, so just getting stuff out there.
I need to apply a little bit more of your.
Yeah, I need to find his and get a little quality and dial it back a little bit. Me and the girl I liked, she said that she's like, I need to post more, and you need to listen to me because she had a lot of the how it should look. Maybe one day I'll get a girlfriend, and that way it'll fix it.
Yeah, I mean, listen. We are all a work in progress, and whether we're dating somebody or not, I'm still a work in progress. And I
still want to get it right. It's not that I didn't want to do it. I was mad I didn't have the slides done perfectly today. I thought we did. We tried so hard. It was only one slide, but it's still not good. But we ran it.
It is what it is. You learn from your lessons, you learn from your mistakes, and then they're just mistakes made or lessons learned. All right, we're gonna wrap this one up right here. Episode number 18. We're going to be doing
if you're on Twitter. I want to really grow on Twitter. I believe it will be better.
I've been thinking maybe we should just name this as it's the Jeff and Josh show, but it should be Twitter news or something like that. Or
X News. Really on Twitter. That one I know we're not getting banned from.
And right. We could almost
just on Twitter.
Well, if you notice, most of the stories that we pull up are from X.
Twitter, yeah. So maybe X News.
I was thinking we could do the J&J show, the X Experience, or
on X. I like the X Experience. Yeah, something like that.
J&J on X, yeah, something like that.
J&J on X, yeah.
It almost sounds like on ecstasy. We'll figure it out, but I definitely want to lean into it a little bit.
Put your names in, tweet us the names there. I had to go back.
Yes, guys, we appreciate all the shares, all the follows, and all the likes. We love you all so much. If you're not subscribed to the channel on YouTube, either my channel or Jeff's channel, please give subscribe, a like, and a thumbs up. Why? Why do we ask for this? Because it helps with the algorithm, and we want to push out positive content. into the world that is just really a way of trying to spread the truth. And we're trying to get better every single day. We're going to admit when we're wrong. And we're going to strive to find the truth. Anything else you want to add, Jeff, before we get on out of here?
No, thank you to the people, Norma at Bonefish Grill here in Aventura. I come here. I've done a few shows here, I think, with you.
Aventura, huh? Nice.
Yeah, it's my spot. That's where the AI event was. Everybody wants to jump on a FaceTime call with me. I think Menect is the way. Menectomy is the best way you can do that. By the way, someone asked me a Menect about branding. I missed it. So I don't know if it was someone here. Yeah, I missed $15. I totally missed it. I feel bad for you. So I say I got to check it every day. And then Patrick and David went around and just bought other people's Menects to see how quick they'd respond to it. Isn't that cool?
Wow, that is crazy.
That's what made me, which is a great idea for a business owner to do that. See, look, I'm answering it right here on Menect. I missed it to her. I get so many messages too. It's insane.
All right. Menect, Jeff. Pretty soon, maybe I'll be on Menect.
Nicole's not there anymore. That's why. So.
I figured that.
Well, I'll figure out who's in there. We'll figure it out.
All right. Be great, guys. Love you all.